This real-life love story of Mary and Jake Jacobs is so powerful and inspiring that you're simply left in awe of the couple who lived it. Interracial couple that was rejected by the society and families. This couple's marriage has earned a spot in history as not just one that stood the test of time for over 7 decades, rather, Jacobs' love story is a testament to a phrase that has been used so much: love conquers all. Mary was born in Britain and Jake was born in Trinidad and Tobago. They both meet in England in 1940s, back when being an interracial couple was far less socially accepted than it is today. They were ostracized socially, even by their families, but they stayed together. They were fighting a war of life and love. During World War II, Jake moved from Trinidad and Tobago to England, as part of the American forces stationed at the Burtonwood base near Mary's home in Lancashire. They were both in the same technical college. She was having typing and shorthand lessons, and Jake was sent to the same college for training by the Air Force. The first day they meet, Jake was with a group of black friends. They saw Mary and her friends passing by. The black boys called the white girls over. Initially the girls thought they don't understand English, but they were wrong. While the other boys were talking to the other girls, Jake and Mary were having their private talk. Jake told her about the book he read, Shakespeare. She was very impressed and loved it. After having a private meeting a few times, weeks later they went for a picnic with friends. That was the first time they went out together in a public place. They were spotted by a lady riding a bicycle. It was an unusual sight, Mary and her friend with a group of black boys. This lady on bicycle knew Mary's family. She went to Mary's home and reported her to her father. When Mary got home that day, her father was so angry that he banned her from seeing Jake again. Because they love each other, they continue to meet in a secret place. After World War II, Jake returned to Trinidad and Tobago, but that was not the end. Distance did not affect their love for each other. They continued to send love letters to each other. After some months apart, their love for each other grew stronger. Jake realized he needed to be with Mary. He was ready to take the risk, no matter what their families and society think of their relationship. He left Trinidad and Tobago for England. When he got to Lancashire, Mary's hometown, they meet for the first time after many years apart. They were so happy to see each other. Jake, who was so excited and emotional, proposed to Mary. He asked Mary to be his wife. Mary never expected that in their first meeting after he returned to England, and she was only 19 years old. Mary accepted Jack's proposal for marriage even though they both know that interracial marriage was against the law then. Mary, who was so excited that she is about to marry the love of her life, went home to tell her father. She said, "Dad, I want to marry Jake." Her father replied with anger, "You mean Jake the black guy?" Mary said yes. Her father warned her. He said, "If you marry that man you will never set your foot in this house again." Mary was not moved by the hatred from her father. She continued to visit Jake and insists she will marry him. Her father, who was horrified that her daughter wants to marry a black man, has had enough. He threw Mary out of his house and warned her never to come back if she insisted on marrying Jake. All Mary left with from her father's house was a small suitcase that contained her clothes. These two were determined to follow their heart. They got married in the year 1948. No family members from Jake nor Mary were present on their wedding day. They never mind, they were happy together. That was all that matters. After their marriage, they moved to Birmingham. Their first year of living in Birmingham was hell. No one wanted to associate with them or even speak to them. It was difficult for them to find a home, because no house owner wants to rent a house to a black man. They have no money. When people see them, they start pointing fingers at them, gossiping and using every bad word to describe them. Whenever Mary thinks of their situation, she will cry. But after their first child, which Mary had after 8 months due to stress that came from the situation surrounding their marriage, things started to change for good. Mary got a job as a teacher and was later promoted to deputy head teacher. Jake also got a job in a factory. Later he found a better job in the post office. With no family to fall back on, the couple slowly began making new friends. However, it wasn't always easy as they faced a lot of discrimination and prejudice from those who couldn't accept a white woman and a black man being together. Whenever Mary invites her friend to their home, she will always remind them that her husband is black, so they can decide if they want to visit her or not. Mary was left heartbroken when her father died. Then she was 30 years old. The saddest part was that, even though she and her father reconciled before his death, he never approved of Jake as her husband. A few years ago, Mary and Jake celebrated their 70th anniversary. Jake said,
"I feel so fortunate to have met and married Mary, but it saddens me that we could not be accepted by society. Nowadays I say to young black people, you have no idea what it used to be like. When I arrived in the UK I was subjected to abuse every day. Once I was in a public bus and a man rubbed his hands on my neck and said, I wanted to see if the dirt would come off. And back then you couldn't work in an office, because a black man in an office with all the white girls wasn't thought to be safe."
Jake said,
"The day-to-day cooking is my job. I've always done it, except when we expect kosher visitors. Then it's done by my wife. We men think we're always right, but we're never always. My wife and I are going into 71 years of marriage and we're still working on it. Unfortunately, Mary has a slight form of Alzheimer's coming on. The doctors are trying their best, but they haven't found a cure yet. But we're hoping. She's 89 this year, and I'm 93.
After 70 years of marriage, these forgotten war heroes are still very much in love, despite all the barriers that stood in their past. Imagine life when family and society disown you just because you married someone you love. Do you know that, even till date there are some societies, families and friends that don't support interracial relationship, for whatever reason, I don't think is right. We are all human. Different colors, one people." Thank you for watching this video. Please give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button, and let me know your thought on interracial relationship in the comment below.